All right, thanks so much for that introduction. My name is Mark Lynch. I'm the Northeast Regional Manager for LPAS. LPAS is a real-time location system. I want to talk about what that is and what it can help you accomplish in a security system. So let's start by imagining a building with many floors or a campus with many buildings. What happens if a staff member is under attack and they need help? How does security management know about this attack? How do we know where the nearest responders are? And how do we know the fastest route for them to get to the incident? This is really what RTLS helps us achieve. It provides all this information in real time, on a map, in a computer system to help improve this response time. So RTLS, or real-time location system, it's about tracking and identifying assets in real time. So an asset can be a staff member or a human being or a piece of equipment or merchandise. So unlike other tracking systems, RTLS is really intended to track indoors. So it doesn't track outdoors. And like any other safety or security system, it requires a secure infrastructure. And that infrastructure, well, when combined with the mobile tags, provides the location information. So I just want to talk about location as it pertains to a traditional security model. We're really, in a traditional security system, working on location assumptions or implicit location definitions. We use intrusion detectors to let us know when someone or something has passed through a particular virtual barrier, but it doesn't tell us who that is. So then we go to access control. We set up these choke points or use in and out card readers, and that provides us more information as to who is going into the protected area. But once they get into the protected area, we really lose visibility of where they are. We have other issues with people tailgating through these entrances. So that's when we turn to video surveillance to try to get more information about who's in the protected area. But when a security management team goes back to do a post-incident analysis, this becomes an issue because you don't have this exact location information. You're really working off of assumptions. So this is just an example of a typical security layout. We have video surveillance throughout the corridors and at the main entrance, combined with an access control reader to prevent or to deny or provide access to the area. This is a good model because we can keep people from coming into the area, but once we add more floors to this, it makes it very difficult for a security team to manage because there's a lot of video to monitor manually. So this is really where RTLS comes into play. We can really improve visibility. So how does it all work? So I have battery-powered tags. They all have unique IDs. They're constantly transmitting this unique ID out to a variety of receivers installed throughout the facility. This is a secure wired infrastructure, and those receivers take the information from the wireless tags and send it over a network to an RTLS server. So that server is really the brains of the operation. That's what does all the location logic, which determines where in the building or on the facility in the campus the different tags are located, and it allows us to set up rules or alerts based on different actions or events that those tags are performing. This information is all being recorded so we can go back and run full reports as to what has happened in the system. So the server is really the brains of the operation, but the tags are the heart of the system. The tags all have similar functions that they're continuously tracking, and they have different alarms, but we have different form factors for our different applications. So the different type of alarms might be a tag approaching an exit that it's not supposed to be near. In that case, we can lock doors or set off alarms. Also, we have buttons on the tags, so these can be used for different things like calling for help or reporting that a piece of equipment needs maintenance. These tags are fully supervised, meaning we're always getting a check-in from them to see that they're still in the facility, and we also always have the battery status. So once the battery goes low, we can change it out. We have plenty of time to change it out. So as far as accuracy of the system, everyone watches these TV shows and you can see on a computer screen exactly where in the building it is. This isn't necessarily realistic in all applications, but if we have enough receivers, we can get a very precise granularity. So we have different levels of granularity. A general or zone level location might be down to 6 to 8 rooms in a building, or in a large warehouse, it might just be a certain section of that warehouse. But then we can go to get more specific location accuracy to get down to a room or a sub-room level location. So depending on the application, that's when you're going to decide what type of granularity the system needs. And it is scalable, so you can start with general location and move up to a room or sub-room level location. So let's talk about some of the applications. First one I'll talk about is asset tracking and management. We can place a tag on a piece of equipment and be able to track it throughout a facility. So this is a time saver. Let's say it's a manufacturing plant. We have a piece of test equipment that a technician is looking for. They go into a computer, type in the name of the piece of equipment, and it'll show up on a map where all the nearest pieces of equipment are located. That's a really time saver. And also, in the same respect, we can protect that piece of equipment by alerting if it's going towards an exit, about to leave the facility, so we can prevent shrinkage. We do integrate with access control systems where we can provide hands-free access control. When you're within 10 to 15 feet of a door, it'll automatically unlock, so we don't have to use our traditional swipe or hands-on access control. We also do man-down or lone worker systems where we have a special tag that will detect if someone falls over. It'll send out an automatic message if they're not capable to do so themselves. We work with artwork security. We provide a special tag that will detect if a piece of artwork is moving. So this is a nice add-on to a traditional intrusion system. Lastly, our major market is really healthcare. We do a lot of staff tracking for the nurses. We provide staffed arrests for the nurses and in hospitals. We also protect infants and wandering patients from being able to exit a facility. So the standalone RTLS applications are great, but the real benefit comes into how we can help a traditional security model. So first of all, with access control, as I spoke, we can provide that hands-free access with an existing access control system. We also provide visibility as to where a person is going when they're inside a protected area. So typical access control, you know when they go in an area, but you don't know where they've gone in that area unless you put card readers for every room, whereas this system can track where they've been in a protected area. It's great for providing virtual escorts for guests, so we can easily track guests and provide access to guests. Now, video surveillance is another area that RTLS can really enhance, because we do have real-time knowledge of where a person is moving throughout a building. We can actually follow them, and for event-driven responses, let's say an infant protection system, if an infant is going toward an exit, we can send a message to that video surveillance system, and it pops up live view, so it gives us a lot more information. So this is an example of Tyco security products, 3 of our brands coming together and integrating. The staff member has a LPAS wrist transmitter, so he feels unsafe, and he decides he wants to press the button on his tag to indicate he needs help. The LPAS system takes this and sends it to the Secure 9000 system. So this is in the security station where they're monitoring the access control system. Displays a message with the name of the personnel and his location, and we'll actually pull up a floor plan to indicate where this alarm is coming from. So it's going to flash on the floor plan. And the last part of that is bringing in the video. So we take an American Dynamics camera and we can display a live view. So as this incident proceeds, we're actually going to follow him around through the cameras, so we can have a live view of where he's going if he's running from an incident. So the cameras will actually update with that. So just going to go through 3 installations throughout the world that we have the LPAS system. This is a correctional facility in Ohio, where all the correctional officers are wearing our man-down transmitter. So if they're ever attacked by any of the inmates, it's going to send out an automatic alarm. There's also the ability to do a manual duress call if they feel they're in a situation where they might need to call for help. This is a hospital in England where we have many different applications taking place. We're tracking the assets, their medical equipment throughout the facility. We're also tracking their staff members and integrating with their nurse call system. And lastly, we're protecting the most important or most valuable asset in the facility, which are the infants. And this is the Oslo City Hall. This is the location where they award the Nobel Peace Prize every year. They have a lot of expensive artwork throughout the building, so we're actually protecting the artwork. So if any of the artwork moves, we're sending a message to their existing security system. So just to sum everything up real quick, adding RTLS to a traditional security model gives you a real-time view of where different assets are located throughout the facility. We have a variety of different messaging options to display any of these alerts or alarms to the appropriate personnel. This is all supervised, both the tags and the hardware. We have knowledge of that this is all online at all times. And being able to improve the response time to these emergencies really helps mitigate risk. Lastly, the ability to run reports and have all this information at your hand during post-incident analysis is a huge benefit. So that's all I have for you today. I'd really like to show you a live demo of the system at the LPAS booth, which is just to our right, so you can understand some of the applications and see it in real life. Thank you so much for your time.